I'm Chris Sorrell. I'm producer of Medieval. I've also been involved in the design from the start and quite a bit of the programming as well. The game is an action-adventure. It was inspired by the classic arcade game Ghouls and Ghosts.
My name's Jason Wilson, and I'm the lead artist and co-designer along with Chris Sorrell on Medieval.
Throughout the game, you're playing a skeletal knight called Sedan Fortescue. He has been risen from the dead by the sorcerer named Zarok, and throughout the game, you're pursuing the sorcerer to try and stop him from completely taking over this weird medieval landscape called Gallowmere. The look of the game is quite unique. You know, a lot of games are based around map editor constructed landscapes, kind of fairly rigid, block-like look to it. This is something that we don't have in Medieval. We have curves and skewed geometry all over the place, and buildings at funny angles. The game also has quite a strong sort of RPG theme, the requirement for you to use particular weapons to learn particular strategies, achieving 20 different levels and tackling probably around 50 different characters along the way. And when he was alive, he was the champion of the king of the land and died valiantly in battle. He's quite a goofy-looking character, I suppose. The aim with him was to give him a kind of goofy, quirky sort of a look, but at the same time for him to also appear to be the valiant and brave character that he actually is.
A lot of people said to us, why do we want to have a skeleton as the main hero instead of some sort of huge muscle guy with a big gun or Lara Croft or whatever. But we thought it would be kind of like silly and different, and we both like the film Nightmare Before Christmas and other sort of silly sort of horror type stuff. So we set out to do a skeleton and lots of silly things a skeleton would fight.
He's got quite a lot of attack moves, and in these I think he looks quite powerful in that, but at the same time he's got huge floppy feet which make him look a bit sort of clumsy as he runs around. That we're not trying to do a character that's Conan the Barbarian or something. He is a bit alternative. He's a sort of an accidental hero, really.
But I think it's more for people who are grown up who still think they're kids.
If you had fun playing Tomb Raider, you're not alone. 6 million copies of Tomb Raider 1 and 2 have been sold worldwide. We've come to the place that brought Lara Croft to life, Core Design in Derby, England. We're taking you inside to find out how it happened and what's next.
It was conceptualized 5 years ago now. And one of the guys said we want to do a game based on raiding some tombs and kind of going underground and into the world of the pharaohs, and that was something I was always really keen to do. He said, yeah, let's do it. Let's draw some things up, do a style guide, let's see what the character's going to look like. And of course he came back and it was a male character. For 2 months, Lara was male. And then we went down and saw it on screen, and Lara transformed into a female.
Tomb Raider 1 and 2 became worldwide hits, and the console version of Tomb Raider 2 was exclusive to the PlayStation. So what's next?
There will be a movie. The movie's live action. It's with a big movie studio. The great thing is that we get total say and veto over the script and the content and the storyline, which is fantastic. Lara herself will have another game out for Christmas '98. There has been some muted discussion about maybe a sidekick for Lara. Maybe a girl, maybe a boy. There is some discussion, but I'd hate to blow it before it's finalised. It'd be good though, wouldn't it? I think it'd be pretty neat.
What will be in Tomb Raider 3? Core is giving PlayStation Underground subscribers a first look at some footage.
One of the main differences is we're going to give Lara a lot more moves, new vehicles. We've overhauled the 3D engine to make everything faster and in high res. This level is going to be based around London, where you'll start off on the rooftops and then you have to venture down into the sewers and the disused tube train lines that are being closed off. Your ultimate aim of this adventure is to break into a corporate building and steal back an artifact that has been taken from a museum. Laura's been hired to go and find it. We're drawing quite a lot more than what Tomb Raider 2 could, so we can get big expanses of open area, build quite detailed backgrounds. This is Darren. He's going to be doing the main animations for Lara on Tomb Raider 3. At the moment he's working on various new moves for Lara, like crawls. We're trying to give her a knife so she can actually stab things. She's going to use the knife to try and prise certain secret items out from the rock. As you can see, she grabs the dagger out. It'll be concealed in her leg.
Tomb Raider 3 is being built with some interesting custom tools. Here are 2 of them.
This is the animation editor. It allows us to do all the characters in the game. And here you can see a wireframe form. In the first game, she was made up of around about 350 polygons. And in the second game, we upped her to about 540, just to add more detail, more curves. Actually select and draw small tiles, small textures, and then we pick them up and place them on all the polygons to build up Lara's look.
A second tool creates game levels. Here we're watching level designer Heather Gibson build a room with a series of mouse clicks.
And then if you look along this side of the editor, I've got a selection of textures that I can use on this map. We can then go on to apply the textures to these areas. So it's just a matter of popping textures onto the faces that are displayed within the room editor. We can apply a light to the room, change the ambience of that room, change the range and the strength of the light to get that nice moody atmosphere that we've got on most of the levels. And I can actually have a look at this room now if I go into preview and fly around and see how it looks. And also we can trigger all the baddies within this system. So that means that when we place our dogs or cult members within this particular map, I can say that I wanted that dog to attack Lara at a specific point, so I can select the dog and trigger it so that when Lara crosses this trigger point here, the dog becomes activated. It allows the player to run across the trigger and run back into a different area of the map and have the sense that something different's happening, because the baddies are still coming through, but they might come through it from a different area. So it always gives you the feeling that they're actually quite clever, that they're working out how to get to you.
As we left, team member Peter Barnard revealed one last thing.
Did you ever wonder what Lara looked like without her clothes on? Bet you wish you hadn't bothered.